What's going on, everybody? It's Alex here from Alex Physio. So today I'm going to be chatting a little bit about why I opened my own clinic. Before you do that, I'd like you to hit the like button, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification for future videos. It really helps my channel grow. It helps me reach a bigger audience and helps to spread my message across. Why did I open up my own clinic? So I've been a physio for about 4 years now. And before that, I was a personal trainer. I was a personal trainer for 4 years as well. Just really enjoy the whole exercise medicine and helping people get better and learning about anatomy, physiology, biomechanics, and helping people get better. Even though I've only been working for 4 years, it really allowed me to see what I like and what I don't like about clinics and running a clinic. I learned a lot of cool stuff. I was able to treat a lot of different patients coming from all different walks of life. It was really fast paced, and I got to help a lot of people, but I was getting quite frustrated with just the system in and of itself. I was running late for patients. Patients were coming to me and we were discussing things that weren't even related to physiotherapy. And when they're running late and they bring up all these other things, you can't ignore those things if there are thoughts of suicide or self-harm or depression. You have to be able to bring them up and be able to refer to the appropriate healthcare provider. But I felt like I wasn't able to do my job to the best of my abilities because there are all these other factors that were playing a role. And on top of that, I was required to see patients every 20 minutes. So I was running late. I wasn't delivering the care that I felt that was needed because I was running late, and it wasn't just a simple ankle sprain or an injury. There's a lot of other issues or factors that were playing a role in the individual's recovery. A lot of individuals were coming on from different socioeconomic backgrounds as well. So, just taking all these things into consideration, it made me realize that, this environment isn't really for me, and it wasn't really an environment that would be able to support me in my efforts. And, these were things that I kept bringing up to management, that I can't see people every 20 minutes. I'm running late for everyone. It obviously affects the patients, and it was just kind of falling on deaf ears. And then I was working there for about 10 months, 11 months, and I said I can't do this anymore. It's affecting my mental health. I feel like I'm not giving the patients what they need, and I quit. And I quit. And I learned so much from, just quitting, because at the end of the day, if you're not appreciated where you're working, or if you don't feel like you're supported, and, your opinions and your thoughts just aren't really being heard or valued, then you have to make a decision. Either you're going to go, or you're just going to kind of stick with it and dread waking up in the morning. And that's kind of where I was getting to. But the other thing was obviously from the financial perspective as well. Like I was, seeing many patients per day, and when it came to talking about compensation, it was always we don't have any money, or we can't do this, or we can't do that. We're taking months to respond to my emails, to discuss this, to be compensated appropriately and fairly. If I'm not enjoying the environment that I'm working in, plus I'm not being paid an amount that I should be paying based on the amount that I'm billing for the clinic that I'm working at, then that's not a work environment that I saw myself being a part of when I was a physio student. So what do? I'm working at the hospital. I got another position at the hospital as a consultant, so working alongside surgeons to help individuals who have been injured at work, to give them different ideas and recommendations on successfully transitioning back to work. That was really cool. I kind of switched that job at the clinic for this one. So I was working full-time at the hospital in 2 different departments, but there was something that was still missing. I didn't have the ability to treat patients in the way that I would like to, because at the hospital I work on the inpatient orthopedic trauma floor. So I'm seeing people who are very early in their rehab. You can't really do a lot with them because they're so acute. It's just working on the basics, so walking, getting out of bed, transferring, using crutches, walkers, getting equipment, stairs, managing kind of basic mobility. I wanted to, and in the hospital as the consultant with the injured workers, I would, just see a few people a day. It was a lot of paperwork and it was a lot of recommendations and assessing. So I was assessing, but I wasn't treating. And in the hospital on the inpatient floor, I was treating and assessing, but it was, again, very different than when people come to see me here. It got me thinking. I said, why don't I just start my own clinic? Just bought a home a few years ago. My home is perfect. It's a perfect space for opening a clinic or having a clinic, just based on the layout of the home. You get into the house and you just go straight downstairs. You don't have to walk through kitchen or living room or anything. And the space wasn't being used for anything. And we figured, let's turn this into a clinic. So I already had a table because my fiance is a physiotherapist as well, a treatment table. So I decided, okay, what do I need to get to be able to open up a clinic? An electronic medical record software, so I can book patients and I can, send patients invoices and receipts, chart, use an app or a software called Jane, which has been super helpful and it's super easy to use. It has a really good interface and very popular in the physiotherapy community. I said, let's go, let's start it. A lot of people know me as a physiotherapist in the city. That's kind of what I've been preaching on and what I've been doing for such a long time and talking about. So I knew that I would be able to hopefully get a few people from the community, and it would be a way to try to build a brand and something that's completely outside of my comfort zone. Even though I'm pretty outgoing, I'm also quite introverted. So being able to try to build a clinic from scratch and try to create my brand was really intimidating. But at the same time, I knew that it was the right thing to do. I've just been so frustrated with kind of how some clinics are run and just some of the philosophies and the politics that are associated with it, and what the expectations are, and how you're not really, there's a lot of clinics where you're just seeing so many people in a day, and it's tough on your mental health. And I just wanted to do my own thing, where I can treat patients for as long as I needed to. I wanted to not have to see 15 patients a day, just a couple here and there. And because I'm working for myself, then there is that extra incentive and motivation to really make sure that everybody has a good experience with me and obviously gets better from their injury. And it would allow me to, really try to delve deep and put in that work required to try to grow the clinic and grow the brand. So I started the clinic last August, so August 2021. So this would have been 2 months after I quit my past clinic job. And I started off with maybe one patient, 1 or 2 patients a week. That grew to 3 to 4. Now I'm at 6 to 8 patients a week, patient visits a week, which is phenomenal for me. I'm already working 40 hours, so this is something else on the side, but it allows me to still connect and meet people. And everybody that I've seen has had a good experience with me and has gotten better. I'm able to see patients just one-on-one for 35, 40 minutes to an hour. I'm seeing people with all different kinds of presentations, and I'm more motivated than ever to just try to keep building up the clinic and the brand, and also just my social media presence I have a YouTube channel, obviously through here, my Instagram, and I'm trying to keep up with the content and creating content so that people can see me and see what I have to offer, and that I can help, and physiotherapy can help. And physiotherapy, if you've had experience with physiotherapy, if you've just been work with somebody and spend 5 minutes with a physio and then been passed to a kinesiologist or physiotherapy assistant, that's not really my cup of tea. I want to spend one-on-one time, work with patients the entire time, and I don't want, I mean, selfishly speaking, but also just making sure that there's no discrepancies and there's no issues with communication or expectations. If you're coming to see me here at the clinic, it's just me. You're not going to be seeing anybody else, and we're really going to work at trying to get you better, and I'm going to do everything that I can to get you better. When I opened the clinic, there was it was very difficult at the start just to kind of get things going. There's a lot of little nuances with the software to figure out and to organize and to make it be professional, and just all the little things. Make sure the clinic looked good, making sure I was advertising, making sure I was able to answer any questions that people had about it, or about issues with the software, if people were having difficulty booking or obtaining invoices or receipts, or charting. Just all that stuff took a little bit of time to set up and to organize, create my templates and my databases. But once I organized that and people were coming, obviously you learn things as you go. You learn how to deal with difficulties or frustrations that maybe the clients might have, or things that you didn't know of with the software, or just with questions that you would always delegate to the clinic owner or the receptionist when you're working in a clinic. But obviously I'm the receptionist, I'm the owner, and I'm the physio, so I'm trying to do everything and making sure that there are no hiccups. So that was probably the biggest adjustment to running my own clinic, is just troubleshooting all the technical things that were taking place as I was building and growing. I got an accountant, so just somebody that would be able to help out with things financially and from a tax perspective, to make sure everything was being done appropriately and the right way. So yeah, it's been great. It's been a great experience. I'm so happy I did it. Able to learn about marketing, branding, content creation, just all the little nuances, has really realized how much respect and how difficult this is. So for people who work YouTube or Instagram or run their own business on just on their own, I mean, this is just, it's a side business for me for now, but being able to do it all on your own and quitting your job, I have so much respect for individuals who do that, because obviously it's not easy, and there are so many unknowns when you first start. But being able to kind of dabble in it the way that I have now has given me so much more knowledge, experience, and gratitude, and just how much more you're willing to do when you're representing your brand and when you have your own clinic, versus when you're working for somebody else who doesn't really appreciate or respect or acknowledge the work that you do for them. So definitely when this clinic expands and we get into a bigger location and start having employees, all these thoughts and experience that I felt now are going to be carried over. And yeah, the importance of being grateful as an employer to your employees for what they do is something that I really learned about by starting my own clinic. The other benefit of obviously running your own clinic is from a financial perspective. So being able to set your own fees, and for treatment, for assessment, for equipment if you're selling, has really helped me, just because if I'm seeing 3 or 4 patients an hour at a clinic, I might be billing $200, $300 an hour, but the average physio at a clinic, if they're hourly, they might make anywhere from $37 to $50 an hour. And then obviously when you're an employee, there's not a lot of things that you can write off from that. So not only being able to set my own hours and make an amount that I feel like appropriately accounts for my experience and my education, but being able to also have a lot of tax benefits of being a clinic owner, and being able to write off different expenses has really opened my eyes in terms of how being your own boss has a lot of benefits. I mean, obviously there's a lot of difficulties as well, and who knows where the world will take me and this clinic, and how far I go from a social media perspective. I'm really happy that I made the jump to start my own clinic and build my own brand, and to individuals who are hesitant to do that, and it doesn't have to be in physio, but in any field, know that it's scary. There's a lot of unknowns, but it's definitely doable if you have the passion for it, and it can be accomplished. If somebody like me who has no experience in marketing, content creation, advertising, and pretty shy as a person, for me to put myself out there and try to advertise and reach out to people and cold message people and say that, it's, you can do it too. So hopefully you learned a thing or two about my clinic and kind of why I opened my own clinic. If you have any comments or questions that you'd like to ask, please leave them below, or message me. I'd be happy to help. I mean, this is one of the other benefits or the purposes is being able to help individuals so that they don't make the same mistakes I did, or they learn from me, and just passing that education and that knowledge down is super important for me as well. So hit me up, message me, subscribe, like, comment on my videos. It really helps me grow as well, and helps to reach more people. Thanks so much for listening and for watching, and stay tuned for the next video. Thanks.